Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. I see a bunch of you guys are in here. Please just type a message in the chat. Let us know that you can hear and see us. Let us know where you are chiming in from. And we will go ahead and get started with today's session. Let's see. I'll give you guys a little, I know there's a little bit of a delay. All right. I'll get started with the introduction and then check back in to make sure you guys are hearing everything fine. But welcome back. Oh, I'm seeing some come in. All right. Los Angeles, all good. Okay, good. Knoxville, Tennessee. All right. So we got a couple of people in here. Welcome. All right. So welcome back to the Cannabis Tech Stat Summit. This is hosted by the National Association of Cannabis Accounting and Tax Professionals. Today, our special guest is Jesse Wexler. He is the Senior Account Executive over at Cova Software. So Cova, if you have not heard of it, it is the POS that listens. Cova strives to solve the burden of compliance so that you can rest easy and focus on growing your business. And it remains committed to evolving its software in response to changing regulations and customer needs. It is the software that has 100% uptime. I don't know if you guys have ever had a client around the 420 holiday and their POS system goes down, but I have had that experience and it's not fun. So Cova, we don't have that problem. Jesse Wexler will take us behind the scenes so we can see the type of reporting the software provides to help us improve our client services. So it's important that we understand what types of sales reports are we able to pull? What type of inventory reports are we able to pull? What types of KPIs can we see so that we can better service our clients? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you take over, Jesse.
Thank you so much, Naomi. Thank you, everyone, for having me here today. I'm excited to share with you about Cova. To touch on a couple things about Cova before we get into the reporting. We work with over 2,000 dispensaries across North America. We are one of the most trusted point of sales in the industry. And the way we got to that is by doing right by the retailer. We're spun out of a company called IQ Metrics up in Canada. They're the point of sale for the cell phone industry. When I say the point of sale for that industry, it's because they have about 80% market share working with every Verizon, every T-Mobile, every Cricket store across North America. They got that big by working with an independent franchisee who loved what they brought to the table. They told their friends, the other franchisees started signing up. That worked its way back to Verizon HQ. Ultimately, Verizon signed up, and the story has it, now we're in 80% of the cell phone stores across North America on the IQ side. Cova is its own company. All we do here at Cova is work with state licensed cannabis retailers as well as Farm Bill compliant hemp retailers. And we've grown similarly, doing right by the retailer, always making sure that the retailer's interests are at the forefront of everything that we do. As Naomi mentioned, that means uptime on 420, doing everything possible to ensure that on the most important days of the year for your clients, for your dispensary clients, that their systems are going to be operational, that they're going to be able to operate in a compliant manner, keeping that integration with Metric live. And if something goes down, having those sales saved locally on the tablet so it automatically resyncs with the state compliance systems, maintaining compliance for that retailer. Never are they going to have to resort to pen and paper, write everything down, have to go back in, enter all these transactions to get everything up to speed. Cova is going to automate that. Without further ado, I want to jump into our reporting, review some of our accounting reports and some of the reports that export. And
is this the screen you want to share? It looks like your presentation.
No, it's not. It doesn't look like that on my screen.
Okay. I'll take that off, and you want to switch it over? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know, Naomi.
Yep. All right. We got Staten Island, New York. You guys, I know you guys are doing a lot of work in New York. We got Massachusetts.
I'm actually currently sitting in the city as well. I'm in Brooklyn myself, over in Prospect Heights, so not too far away from you right now, on this rather cold day that we're having.
Oh yeah, it's starting to get cold across the country.
Very. Everybody should be able to see my screen right now. As soon as you log into the back end of Cova, this is what your clients are going to see. On the right, any updates that have just happened with the platform or that are happening in the coming days are going to show there. That way, there's never any surprises. We want the people using the platform to know what's going on and to know it's about to be happening. Daily dashboard in the middle, as soon as they log in, what's going on in the store today. Right now, I'm looking at the top level store. So all of my locations in an aggregate are going to show here. We can drill into particular locations just by clicking onto them. Product expiring in the next 30 days, total amount of sales today, total revenue for the day, average items per cart, average cart size, top selling products, top selling brands. We're also going to show the hour by hour transactions today. A little bit slower today in the teal. It is Veterans Day, not doing a ton of volume in my demo account. Yellow is the same day from last week, so we can see exactly how things are trending week over week. Make sure things are always trending positively. From a reporting standpoint, going to hop right into some of the reports. All of our accounting reports are in GAAP format. They can be exported in Excel, CSV, or JSON. We also do integrate with QuickBooks via some middleware companies that we work with, such as Racetrack. So it is possible to facilitate that direct integration from Cova into QuickBooks, so there's no need to manually import that. But these reports are already formatted, as I mentioned, in GAAP, so they are formatted to be piped directly into QuickBooks. Some of the accounting names and titles can be changed to align with however you're structuring your client's books, but this can pipe directly in, already good to go. Just pull this back to the last 30 days. Beyond the GL account totals, we can also drill in on the transaction level. And really breaking everything down in a way that it can go into that general ledger program or QuickBooks, and really just complete the books for you. Obviously, you can do any additions as necessary, but this is going to take into account all of the transactions in the store, both product being sold and product being coming in, so we can account for both sides of the spectrum. Some of our clients have it set up for their accountants where these reports sit on an email subscription. For those that don't want to do the QuickBooks integration, they'll have this set up where we can schedule the email, and on the 1st of the month, the 31st of the month, 1st of the week, whatever your preferences are, we can set this report to hit your inbox where you get that Excel spreadsheet on a weekly basis or a monthly basis with this data that you can upload into QuickBooks directly. So there are different ways we work with accountants to do this. Another way that we've done this in the past is our client will set up a user profile for their accountant, and we can set that up as accounting, effectively giving you access to the reporting so you can go in and pull the sales reports, inventory reports, and those accounting reports, and just log into the platform and pull them yourself. So a couple different ways we can go about facilitating that data transfer from the client to their tax professionals.
Can you pull back up the sales report?
For sure. The one that I just had up, or do you want more of a detailed sales report?
A more detailed one. Like, does it show you like this purchase, sales, discounts, taxes, cost of goods sold, net?
Yeah. And this one's going to go into more detail.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so it tells you across. Okay, good.
All of the data is here. If there's ever a question, you're going through the reports and you can't find the answer, pick up the phone, call our 800 number. We pride ourselves on having the best support in the industry. Someone who's sitting on our support team, Eastern time, 9:30 a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Someone who's sitting in North America will be on the phone with you in less than a minute. Average response time last month was 15 seconds. We pride ourselves on having the best support in the industry, and that means getting you answers when you need it and not having you wait hours or days to get a response. 80% first call resolution. You call, we're going to deliver that answer to you and help walk you through exactly where to find that information in the platform.
Nice. That's very important. I've had months go by before getting a response in some other software providers.
We've all been there on a consumer side where we're waiting, where our thoughts on the point of sale, particularly in a highly regulated industry, if the point of sale is not working correctly or there's something you're hung up on that's preventing you from using the point of sale correctly, business is not happening the way it should in your store. We have a responsibility to our clients that they need to operate, and we're a cornerstone of that tech software in the store. We have a responsibility to pick up the phone and to help, whatever that means. So we're there to be a resource and to really do that help and ensure that our customers can process transactions in a compliant manner. If they're not
Yeah.
processing, they're not making money, and then nobody's happy.
And not only that, they need to report their sales to state agencies, and if the reporting is not accurate and you can't pull the right report or the numbers are messed up and you don't get a response from your POS company, then you're behind on compliance in that way as
Absolutely.
well. Yeah.
And our software does integrate with Metric and BioTrack, respectively, of whichever state we're talking about. So that compliance reporting, a lot of that is going to be automated, where the
Nice.
moment the sale is completed in Cova, it's going to push that information through to the traceability software, and therefore the state regulator will have that effectively instantaneously.
Okay.
What a lot of our clients have been doing recently is, as I mentioned, you can export these reports. A lot of them will export these reports as CSV, particularly our sales report. Look at the past 30 days, put it into ChatGPT and just start asking it questions. What can I do to improve the profitability of my store? What can I do to increase revenue? Where are there items we can bundle to increase our sell-through? It's amazing the insights that these free AI tools can deliver now. And it's not hypothetical. They can use your first party data that you provide to them by exporting it out of the platform to make bespoke recommendations for the business on how to improve profitability and revenue. These are things that less than 12 months ago would have cost thousands of dollars to hire a consultant to do. You can now do in minutes for free on ChatGPT or Gemini. Amazing tools at our disposal today. Beyond sales reports, also inventory reports in the platform to help customers really dive into that inventory a bit more. My favorite report on the platform to help them keep a bit leaner in their inventory while also ensuring that they have the products people want is the reorder report. It takes a second to load because it is pulling every bit of inventory in the platform. I'm going to use Honeypot, the second row down. If we go all the way to the right, we get to some of the pertinence. How much we have in the store right now, what we're charging per unit, what we're paying per unit, what we're charging per unit, gross profit margin, last day we brought that product into the store, last day we sold some of that product. Where this report gets very compelling is to the left over here. How many we sold over the past 7 days, over the past 14, over the past 30, over the past 60. Got to let everybody in on a little secret that's not really a secret. I'm just coming back from parental leave. Last week was my first week back at work.
Aww.
That's why it looks like all of my sales are the exact same for the past 30 days. It's because I just had a month and a half off to attend to my baby girl.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. But normally these numbers are going to be differently as stores are going to get to use sell week over week. But just wanted to explain why it looks the same there. But where this becomes very powerful is if we know that we sold 6 bags over the past 7 days, we have about 4.5 days of inventory on hand. 6 bags over the past 14 days, about 9 days of inventory on hand. Our trailing 30-day sales gives us 20 days of inventory. Trailing 60-day sales gives us 30 days inventory. A lot of the retailers that we work with do their reordering 1 day a week. Whoever's in charge of that reordering for the store, they'll have this report set to hit their inbox on that morning. Say it's Thursday morning, they get this email, it's got the report. They'll pick the column that they want to work off of and cruise through it. Any number that's 10 or less, reorder. Any number that's 11 or higher, wait on that till the next week. The reason they're not doing 7 days gives them a 3-day buffer. If there's a run on a particular product, gives them a little bit buffer there so they're not so lean where it's just the 7 days. Really just helps prevent, it allows them to not have as much money tied up on the shelves. They can be leaner in their purchasing, so they're not as cash sitting in storage. On the flip side of that, if we see that we have 8,700 days of inventory on hand, tells us the exact opposite story. We probably don't want to reorder this product again because it's not selling. B, we probably want to start looking to discount that product now and not wait for it to come up on that 30-day report. When we're talking about this amount of inventory, if we wait till 30 days, it's a fire sale. We can start to slowly decrease the pricing months ahead of time, and we're not going to feel that hit on the margins to the same extent as if it's a fire sale. And the fire sale, as bad as that is, still better than eating an entire loss on the product because that product's expired and now it can no longer legally be sold. So really good insights all around in this report. This is why this is my favorite report on the platform.
So what's like a good rule of thumb when that column or that days ticks up to maybe 30 days, 60 days, 90 days is when you should start discounting, or is it depending on the expiration?
Well, it depends on the expiration because the expiration, that's your drop dead date essentially. Once that expiration comes up, that product, it's garbage. It's got to be destroyed at or returned to the supplier as per state rules, and that holds true across every regulated state. So that's not a market to market one. The amount of time you want to look to start discounting, it really depends on how much inventory we're sitting on. If we're talking we have a couple extra units to sell, we can wait until we're 30 days out. If we're sitting in a situation like this where we have 15 years worth of product, we don't want to wait and we want to start dropping that price now. I mean, and if this is 6 months from expiring, we don't want to drop it significantly. Maybe do 5%, 10%, just something to get a little bit more attention to the product, something for the bud tenders in the store to start talking about. Well, this is on sale right now. It's 10% off. And see how that goes. And if it starts to move at that point, fantastic. If it doesn't, then we need to look to maybe double down on that discounting until we find a sweet spot where it's going to start to move. Ideally, we're not cutting into margin too much, but also we realize this isn't selling at the ideal margin because we are discounting at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, other good reports, discount reports, it's going to allow you to understand how the bud tenders in the store are handling discounts. That's the most important. And I still have leave coming up, so I have no discounts. Sorry.
Does it show on the sales report as well? The discount, is there a column on that? Okay.
Yeah, the discount report I was going to pull goes more into employee management than the actual discounting. The sales reports are all going to have that discount information in there. And you'll see total discount right here and markdown percent. Again, no discounts in the past couple of days, so I'm not showing any, but this is where those would be illustrated in the platform. And if they're being done through manual discounts and the store is using discount codes or discount reasons, those reasons will populate here. So we know exactly why the bud tender chose to afford the customer that discount. And bud tender is going to show right here as well.
Okay.
With tons of data in here. If the store ever feels like there's too many rows in here and they're not looking at them all of these reports, we can toggle the rows on and off to consolidate the view or expand it if they want to see more of the data. From there, we can add in if this, then that to really help segment the data better. A lot of ways to format this to really deliver the answers that the store is going for.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of different reports in here. I don't want to bore everybody with tons of different random reports and data points. Naomi, are there any other particular data points you want me to hone in on?
Yeah, you're on taxes. Let's talk about the taxes. So, um, how do we manipulate? You have to enter the excise tax based on this state. And as those change and things, we want to make sure that it's calculating the sales tax and the excise tax properly and it's stacking them or doing it cumulatively as required. Where would we go to check that that's in there right?
So the taxes would be in the back
Oh,
end of your settings. And this is something I definitely recommend when we're messing with taxes. Pick up the phone, call our 800 number, walk through that with them. It's important as the tax pro or the store that they understand what the taxes are, but we can talk them through where to plug that in so they're showing correctly. As we start talking groups that are working in multiple states, this can get more and more complicated. We don't want there to be an error with taxes for very obvious reasons. Taxes is what keeps the regulators happy. Happy regulators keeps happy owners. So always pick up the phone and call us for that. But this is where we would structure that and to show how that splits out on the front end. And New York's a good state to illustrate this way. Take payment. It's going to split out the, and of course it didn't on that one. It's going to split out the taxation where we see the 13% excise specifically on the cannabis product, standard New York State sales tax on the non-cannabis product. The reason I think New York is such a good example of this, a lot of states do the stackable taxes where everything pays sales tax and then only cannabis pays the excise. New York is very different. New York cannabis pays a 13% flat excise tax. Non-cannabis product pay the state sales tax plus whatever local sales tax it is. This shows how we're able to split that out based on a product level. So that particular product is paying the appropriate respective tax. And in some states, we can see the amount of taxes on here pile up. We look at California with different destination taxes. It's not uncommon to see 4 or 5 different line items for tax on a receipt there.
okay. And then when you were scrolling through the reports, I saw something about like customers. What types of KPI stuff are, can we pull so that we can see how our client is performing and provide them any advice? Um, some of the KPIs we look at is like, average ticket price, average basket size. If customers are repeat customers, there's a bunch of little things you can look at to kind of help with profitability.
Again, coming back from leave, my reporting is not going to be the best for this, unfortunately.
Okay.
This is the customer list. Is going to have all your customers over the past 30 days or however long back you want to set that. It's going to show you the pertinence here. How long have they been shopping from you? What was the first order? Days since they were last in. If you notice that you have a customer with a really high average here, it's been a really long time since they're in, it's a great person to give a call to. You could probably ask a room full of people in the industry how many times a dispensary has called them to say, we value you, should come back. Customer that gets that call is probably going to come back because it doesn't happen. So a little bit of time just to reach out there is going to provide a lot of value to your customers. But this is a great one, really just hone in. They spend a lot. Why haven't they been here in a while? Really simple and straightforward stuff.
Okay. Let's see. We have some questions out of the chat. So Angelita is asking, can the sales report category, so you have a total for flower, total for pre-rolls? Yeah. So can you summarize it by product type?
Yep. To do that, let me stretch this back a little bit. You would select the category that you want to pull, and you can pull for that particular category. So we just wanted to look at flower and pre-rolls over the past 30 days. And it's going to pull that directly for you.
Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, that's good. And then Celeste has two questions. First, she wants your contact information so that she can sign up. And then I don't know, I can put it in the chat. Should I just drop your email or somebody info
Um,
email?
I'll put my cell phone and email in there right now.
Okay. And then her follow-up question is it's a follow-up to the taxes. So is there a limit to how many different categories can be applied? Because I know we have state, we have local, we have school tax, we have so many different taxes nowadays.
There's, to my knowledge, there's no limit. I should say to my knowledge because it's very possible there might be one that's built in there. But it's something that hasn't been hit. And if we ever run into a situation where we're not compliant because we're hitting a tax limit, that's going to get changed really quickly. Above everything else we are committed to compliance. And if that means we need to add another row for taxation, we will add another row for taxation. It's a commitment we have to our retailers. Point of sale technology in cannabis is special because the degree of compliance behind it. That at the end of the day, that's what we're here, is to help our retailers stay compliant. So we will make sure that all appropriate taxes are being accounted for in the platform.
And also, I know I've had a couple conversations with you guys, and if something isn't there or isn't available, you guys are dedicated to making sure that there's the code is updated or there's adjustments so that it can accommodate those needs, right?
Absolutely. And we're constantly updating the platform. We run in 2 week sprints. So everything is constantly evolving, constantly updating. And to that, and something like a taxes, if it's not there, it's going to be prioritized. To give an example, and it's not taxes, it's on the compliance side. For those familiar with how the New York market's been operating over the past 3 years, traceability is not live in the state yet. So there's a weekly report that has to be submitted to OCM, which is New York's regulator, on a weekly basis. Our report that we submit weekly is formatted to the template that New York provided. We had a customer let us know, hey, it's no longer in the same format. When did that change? A couple weeks ago. Oh, all you had to do is let us know. Within 15 minutes, that adjustment was made in the platform where that report was retailored to the updated template. Literally, all it took was somebody just letting us know, and we made that change. For things like taxation, we're going to know that publicly, whereas something that's only communicated to licensees, we're going to need a licensee to tell us or a retailer to tell us. But things that we know publicly, we're going to act on immediately. Otherwise, as soon as you let us know, we're going to jump on that. Again, committed to compliance and everything that means and entails.
And then also, can you just tell us about Cova? How long have you guys been around? Are you guys in all the 50 or the legal states, and a little bit of that?
Yep. So Cova has been around for about 9 years now. This was our eighth 420 operational this past year, and our eighth 420 in a row with 100% uptime. As Naomi mentioned at the beginning of the call, never had an outage on a day like 420, priding ourselves on uptime. But yeah, been around for about 9 years now. We are in all 50 states because we do support the hemp market. So through Farm Bill compliance, we are serving a lot of the states that do not have regulated cannabis yet. From the regulated channels, we are in most adult use markets and most medical markets, but not all of them currently.
Nice. Okay. Okay, cool. Anything else you want to show us?
Um, that was the gist of it. Some other things that are really unique to Cova. For those retailers that are more rural locations, one of the things that is very unique we can do is if internet goes out, the front end will still work. So we can still do cash transactions without Wi-Fi. Most of our competitors are going to have to resort to pen and paper. This is something that's particularly relevant in areas where Wi-Fi can go in and out, internet can go in and out. This gives them a continuity where they continue their business operations as usual. As soon as internet's restored, everything's going to resync with the servers. At that point in time, everything's going to push through to state traceability, whether that be metric or biotrack. One of the leading reasons some retailers in New Mexico use us is we have less outages than biotrack. So when biotrack goes down at the state level, the stores that require that live connection go out. We can save those transactions locally, As soon as that connection is restored or BioTrack goes back online, everything's going to push into BioTrack. So really powerful functionality enabled due to offline mode.
Nice. There is a question about integrating with accounting software. How does that work?
So natively, we do not integrate with accounting software. We do work with a company called Racetrack and a company called Tendify that both can integrate with Cova and QuickBooks. So they sit in the middle to facilitate a direct integration. So there is a way we can do it, broader conversation, but it's definitely possible to enable a QuickBooks integration through a third party. Otherwise, we can set those reports to hit your inbox on a weekly or monthly basis for you then to upload into QuickBooks. But there is that integration potential as well.
Yeah, and we did actually have a talk with Racetrack a couple of weeks ago. So if anybody would like to see how that integration works, check out the replay from October. We have another question about, is it strictly for retail or could it be used for a retailer that has small distribution wholesaler for private label products?
It has been designed for retail. It truly is for retail. That being said, there are some wholesalers that use it, but they're more so on the farm bill side as opposed to the state regulated side because we don't have the traceability integrations for distribution or wholesale. So it's really going to be a case by case basis on that one.
Got it. And then I also missed this. So you said you guys use Racetrack. What's the other company that you use for the integration?
Tendify, I believe. I have to confirm that.
Tendify?
Yep, they are a newer company.
Okay, I had not heard of that one.
Once I
Okay,
start my screen share, I can check. I just have to pull my calendar.
no worries. Um, let's see. Is your software available in desktop version or an online version? Is it available for a flat fee or subscription base? How does all that work?
Yep. So it is the back end is web based. The front end is an Android app. So unfortunately, there is not a true desktop version available. Although web based, you can use on your desktop. Um, our pricing is a subscription model. It is a flat fee subscription model, but it is a monthly subscription. That pricing ranges depending on how many registers are in the store. But again, unlimited user count, and do have unlimited packages for those higher scale stores and higher volume stores.
Got it. All right, good questions. Let me know if there are any other questions in the chat. But other than that, I think that we can wrap this one up.
All right. Well, I put my cell phone and my email in the chat. Anybody has any questions, always happy to hop on a call, hop on a full demo. Here to be a resource for everybody. NACAP Pros has been great. Happy to help your network. Let me know how I can support you guys. Always happy to hop on a call. And again, thank you for the opportunity and the time today. Very happy to be there.
Yeah, and the focus of this presentation was for us as accountants to see what the back end is. But if you are a retail operator and you want to see how to check out a customer and how all that stuff looks, please reach out to Jesse directly and he can show you that side of the software as well. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much. We are going to wrap it up here. Jesse's information is on the screen, so go ahead and take a screenshot. But with that, everyone take care. You have a good one. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.